young Ajib Entertainment. Pancholeg stayed a Panchir America, Panini Dwall, Banaban, Pancholeg stayed a Panchir America, Panini Dwall, Banaban, walk on the lake, Kankara, what on a watching, Oga, level leg, gear, pow, very leg, Panda with Yay, Panchir America, Pania Dwallavano, Chingatonga Pandon, could you ever buy a check out, Pakupana Juru, what you have Panchir America, Panji Dwall, Panapan Pantaleg
Welcome to Lagos State Media Show tonight, after wherever you are. Very wonderful day. In Australia is already February 9, 2021, and in USA, North America is still date 8 of February 2021. Cuba, East Africa, it's almost night. It's around 9 p.m. Welcome to Lagos State Media, to the interview of our uncle, Dr. Jieng Council. Before we continue, I would like to introduce to you also one of the panels, and is one of my colleagues, Bol, to introduce himself.
Thank you, Isaac, and thank you, Uncle Aldo Ajo Jieng Council, for being here with us today. I am very happy to host you in the Lagos State Media, and our viewers also are very happy for you are here today, so they can also hear from you. Our viewers, we are happy to welcome Dr. Aldo Ajo today to Lagos State Media. Is the member and the elder of JCE, and this is the group that people had been talked about all along in social media in different platforms, because he's the spokesperson of Jieng Council, and we bring him today so you will hear from him. So we are happy to have him. Thank you, Isaac. I will yield the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Bol. Before we start, I would like to play one song from Emmanuel Kembe that say Nuna Kuluf Markab Wahid Grand Nankulu Zol Gad Bekalam Ted person talking outside or somebody doing something intentionally. You are already in the we are in the same boat together. So that song is what we're gonna listen.
We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you. Going to the promised land. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you. Going to the promised land. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you. Going to the promised land. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you. Going to the promised land. Inakulu, Timuka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Murka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Inakulu, Timurka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Murka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Inakulu, Timurka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Murka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Inakulu, Timurka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Murka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Inakulu, Timurka Wabi, Ashele Kita, Murka Wabi,
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Kembe. It's a very good song. We appreciate it. We are all in the same boat. In South Sudan is our nation that everybody has responsibility to build it up. Today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever we are tuning in, all of you, we have a guest in Lagos State Media with us, Dr. Aldo Jieng Akwe is a member of JCE and was also a member of National Dialogue Steering Committee. I would love to invite Honorable Aldo Ajo to introduce himself to the viewers and all South Sudanese who are watching us today. Welcome, Uncle Aldo Ajo.
Thank you very much, Isaac. My name is Aldo Ajo Dengakwe. I've been in Parliament from 1967 up to date. That is something that like 3 years or so.
Yeah.
So I'm actually disseminating ideas, not really ideas of looking for any leadership anymore, but ideas that enforce the life of South Sudan. This is, I'm happy to be with you here.
Thank you. It's all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Aldo. To begin with the first question, I don't know, you have air condition working next to you. I have, yeah, there is a noise. The air
No,
is.
that's
Okay.
me. That's me.
Okay, let me get it off.
Uncle, that's not you. That's me. I have shut it.
Okay.
I have shut it down.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. To begin with, As JCE, the letter you wrote out last time, that title, Breaking Silence, that from the whole nation, everybody is who want to know more about that, why you have been quiet and the time you have broke the silence. And the first question to you will be, when did you create JCE and why? That will be the first question. Can you explain?
JCE was created in 2014 after the breakout of the war, 2013.
Yeah.
After that, we actually knew it very well that it is leadership of the SPLM that divided itself and decided to go to war with one another. Afterward, when the war was on, we tried to meet people of Equatoria, and people of Equatoria refused to sit with us, simply saying that you are not leading you are not representing region of Baragazal. So we cannot talk with the Denka group and so on. They angered us and we moved off. What motivated us is clearly a thing that motivated every Denka person. Because the politicians who are known politicians, who have their own communities and nationalities behind, decided to single out the Denka. And they went as far as calling Salva Kiir as a man leading a Denka government. We were surprised. And this is it was not unusual. It is something that has been on with other communities in South Sudan. We know that this was not the first one, but we decided to confront it and we said, if we keep quiet, the bad propaganda will spread without answer. The government will not answer, and community out there will not answer. We are actually showing that we are Jieng Council of Elders in order for the world to know that the Denka is present, because there were no people out there answering what was going on, and it was a specific and very bad propaganda against Denka, designed to destroy Denka and designed to remove the government. So we tried it.
Okay. The audio will
anything against any community at all, and nationality. But we wanted to answer. And we did well. We did fix it because the people out there who were not actually in South Sudan and didn't know South Sudan, they knew that there were people also who would answer. When they called for UN to take over the country and calling for Bashir to take over, to withdraw independence, we didn't mince our words. We decided to do that as citizens.
Okay. You got the volume is going down and it's coming up. Anyway, secretary, I know as you have stated, Jieng Council of Elders was formed in 2014, which means there were some communities who have already formed council or a group like Nuer, and even Equatoria. And now, after Jieng Council of Elders was formed, there were a lot of people who accusing Jieng Council of Elders that they have hand in the disasters or the problems which are happening and is still happening in South Sudan currently. Can you elaborate to us why everybody is finger pointing you, finger pointing at you?
Well, this was actually something deliberate to uh, to uh, to single out Denka because we are majority and the leadership, and they thought this strategy will take us to take the law into our hands in Equatoria. And that's why they were preaching genocide is, is actually making up. What we did, we have to stop the members of our community not to revenge when people were being killed on the road to Yale, on the road to Italy, and and we said, let us not revenge. We wanted to keep down the ultimate position they want us to take. And this targeting is not actually normal. It is something planned. It is something which occurred when the government of Juba was destroyed by Kokora.
Yeah.
It is not new. They have always they always did it. Some people were in University of Khartoum and the Union in Alexandria, who are these people graduated and some are ministers. They know what happened to the Union of South Sudan. The gang up, they wanted to take over everything. Now, this is why we did not actually stay aloof, because we know that this is an intended assault, and an intended assault to remove Denka from power. We couldn't resist that. And then those communities, they left themselves and they all talk about Denka, even in their villages, because the thing is spread to make it everything against Denka. Even the NGOs who are in South Sudan are not going to Denka areas because they have been told to keep away, and they don't employ the Denka young people in because they are told that these are bad people and so on. There is nothing hidden about this. The propaganda is a strategy, and they knew that they would actually destroy the government in the name of Denka and smearing the Denka. Say, for example, that the Denka rape women. We have never had in our community. It has never happened for a young man or attacking a woman or a girl. Some people rape, we don't have it in our language. It is a new thing, and they brought it because it is what is done in the whole world. It is not done in Denka country. And when SPLA was fighting in all the villages, there was no this question of rape, but they created it and they inflicted on the SPLA.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. As you have stated in the letter that you have wrote, you broke the silence. You have been silent all this along. When people are accusing you, Young Council of Elders, they're behind Salva Kiir or they are behind the mess of happening, what is happening. Are you part of the government? Do you influence the government in any way?
Now, where we are going is this. We organized since 2014, and we were defending the government. We defended the government until Salva Kiir agreed to sign the present agreement. And the agreement actually came, and it is being implemented. And the former government, and the government is still called a government of SPLM or a government of Salva Kiir. All we see this as deliberate, because the SPLA government has been actually replaced by a national unity government in which everybody among the warring parties is present. And we are saying that, why is it called again a Denka government? We want to make it clear, because those in the government or SPLM, they don't speak. And the whole thing in the government is divided. They are not controlled as one cabinet. And they call SPLM IG and SPLM IO, and they are in the same government. The government is a government of unity. That this one is being skipped. They are not saying it, and it is deliberate, we assume, because when agreement came in, we were reserved about this agreement, because agreement was designed in order to destroy the government led by Salva Kiir and destroy Denga. Here, we interpreted it, we read it, we analyzed it. And this is the whole thing about this agreement. This agreement is being made, being paralyzed, and you can see the whole world is not supporting South Sudan. And recently, when we made peace in Khartoum in Juba for Khartoum, Khartoum has been now being supported. Why are we not getting any support even in our African countries? What is the matter? The matter is actually to paralyze the government and eventually a collapse of South Sudan. This is what we know about it, and you can see, was there a reason, any reason, to actually increase the parliament which was elected where Yang Machar was here? And Yang Machar actually achieved that he should have 45% in the parliament, and Salva Kiir with 55%, and with people with them. This is being done in order to remove a Denka government. And we are quiet, and our people are doing nothing. So we want to come in, and because the war is over, the forum where we were operating is over, and now the real forum functioning is the revitalized peace forum. We don't want to be away from that. And we want to get the government to be committed to that agreement.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. All right. As we have other sub-community leaders or other tribes, councils, what is the form or the best communication that have between you people? Do you have any communication to each other?
Now we actually met the regional council of Elders.
Yeah.
They told us that we cannot be with you. That was when the country was intense. And we tried our brothers, the cousins, the Nuers, and we took them up to Nairobi. We had a meeting chaired by Arab Moy.
Yeah.
And we came out with agreement to come back to Juba and to go back to Riek Machar. They went back to Riek Machar. Riek rejected that I did not send you. And also, our government here kept quiet. The government didn't want to say this has been done by elders. They don't give us any recognition. So the left behind us, the government went to Nairobi and got these fellows angry. They were led by Gabriel Yuan, late Gabriel Yuan, and brought them in the ticket of Taban Dengai. They were brought to Khartoum and they were made advisors to the president. And we were sidelined. They did not ask us, and we have a paper signed with the Nuers. We wanted to get in to participate in solving the problem. But the two sides denied us, especially our side denied us. The usual behavior of some members of SPLM is not over. They continue actually to antagonize any leader. They don't want to have ideas rather than actually sidelining people. They think that but they are not together. They don't do things together. So this is the initiative we made. As the fact that we have been answering some well-organization against South Sudan, and we feel that we had done something. We have done something. Okay, that's the organization we met.
Okay.
So there is no relationship with anybody else rather than ourselves and the government.
All right. Recently, there was a national dialogue that has taken place in the country, in Juba. What is the position of JCE, Jieng Council of Elders, in that?
I was a member of the national dialogue, and we went to the ground in a wheel, and others went to other areas. This is a consultation that brought from the root to the National Congress. And it worked very well because people addressed any issue, not issue of Denka, issue of the country called South Sudan.
Yeah.
Whether we have it together or we get divided. And all the people of Equatoria, Upper Nile, and Barghazal were very conscious of this, and we discussed it soberly, and we came out from national dialogue. You can read the recommendations. United, one country, one constitution, and the condition we have actually placed is that we study the federal constitution, what type of federation we need for South Sudan that will actually sustain the diversities we have. Our diversities are not ethnic. Our diversities are regional. Because our identity, we identify with our own region. Barghazal, Equatoria, and Upper Nile, three which were created by British. Now, our federation will be territorial.
Okay.
Territorial and mixed federalism. Which, the resources can be distributed through states, the states that are rich, and actually the security of a given state will be maintained by those who are governing it, and within the umbrella of the national security. And this is, we came out with it. It is the single thing we can emphasize, a single resolution. We bang on it and we discuss it, we resolve it, and it took a long time. So we think that the national conference, the national conference cannot be rejected by anybody who would want South Sudan to stand on its own feet among the nations of the world. This is brought out. And you can see what people said. People talk a lot. And people, President Salva gave the right of people to speak freely. And people said it. Said React and Salva Kiir are not going to work together. And this is predicted even by Makwendra. And now, this is true. This is now true. There is no one government now in the government of national unity.
Unity.
So we are actually frightened for propaganda some people are doing. You can see they want to charge us that we have actually said Salva Kiir and Yak should not contest the coming elections. We did not say it. We are bogged down of how successful the agreement will be implemented. It is not being implemented, it is not going. And we cannot preempt that there will be elections when the obstacles that will lead to democracy and rule of law and freedom, transparency to run elections is not achieved. We have to get there. But the secretariat wrote to the president to say that 1, 2, 3, 4 issues have been said by the public, including the fact that if this one succeeds if this agreement succeeds to be implemented fully, an election is a really election peaceful, Salva and Yang Machar will not contest. This is the saying of people, the media, and all that. But I assure you, when you read the real recommendations and resolutions of national conference, you will not find that because no one can do it all over the world. Elections qualify a candidate through the law of elections. No one else, or a member can be voted out by his or own party. So we are not just simple people to say that.
Thank you so much for that answer. Okay, as since 2014 formation of JCE, what is the biggest achievement or accomplishment that the group has made that you can tell us?
The biggest achievement,
yeah,
was the fact that Africa and the world dropped what they say South Sudan to be actually governed by UN Security Council, and UN to take charge of South Sudan, which was also in Africa and also in the UN. Now, that one is not longer. It's not longer the case, and it was not longer the case when they started negotiation. And we are happy that this one is dropped. No one is going to take over South Sudan, or Umar Bashir could not take South Sudan, or even the man who is there now cannot take South Sudan. And we feel that South Sudan is defensible. It's defensible, we can defend it. And we are happy with this, that the world is not telling us that the UN will take care of South Sudan. We are free people, we are sovereignty, and the mistakes made by individual politicians cannot actually designate the country to another colonialism when we have achieved our own. And this is the one we select really. And we feel that we fought for it. We wrote to anybody, UN or AU, and we avail ourselves. So we feel this we have fought. And I tell you, on the Facebook, I have been writing for 5 years, non-stop, every day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a good.
It's over now.
That's a great achievement. And what is the biggest challenges lying ahead of you now in this current situation?
Now, this situation, the challenges are very huge. Not only challenges, but
Mm.
the country is completely paralyzed in all fields of livelihood. Nothing for the people. You start from the economy. Economy is not. Politics, freedom is not. Social fabric is broken down. And our people are starving. They are actually in poverty. And also, some have decided to be displaced internally, not their intention, but pushed by the lack of food to get themselves into the UN compound. And the same thing with refugees. No one is coming back, but there are people going out. And this is a really disaster. It has to be captured. This peace, we came two years ago, has not done anything, any single thing to stop the suffering of people. People are suffering. There is no education, but efforts of individual educationists is the one going on. Effort and health system, healthcare is nothing at all. And where you can find fake drugs and people are dying in numbers is South Sudan, because those who are coming bringing medicines to South Sudan, medicines are not verified. We cannot even have treatment, but there is a lot of medicine around, and you don't know how they come in. So our country is actually above chaos. It has to be. It is time to stop it. People who have come to share the government with Salva Kiir are not stopping it. They are planning for another war. This, when we say this, they are not accepting it, but the work is that you mobilize for another war. You don't mobilize for, they are not mobilizing for election. They think that soon they can preempt and someone want to become a president. So we are not in any way good, nothing. And nothing is coming in aid outside. We are alone. And you can see in Rumbek, when people, the citizens are fighting, in Toin, the citizens are fighting. And you have heard of Jonglei. But we, as a culture of Denka, we think that all this fighting can stop. Because those who are fighting on occasion. They are also some people with a gun who would want to leave and who would want to have cows by force and all this, because some of them were in the bush. So we feel that it has not been handled well. And we did not even accept the fact that the weapons were taken away from the people and shown in television to the whole world. Our cases as Monjang, it has always been you target people who actually brought the violence, and you go on to get the leaders, the chiefs, and you find out who has killed who, and you make a conference. We have never removed weapons. We adopted weapons in a long time among ourselves and others, and that's why we survived the Turkish Empire, we survived the Mahdia, we survived the British, and we actually managed to get out of the grip of the Arabs. No nation has never done this. Arabs, where they have taken North Africa, no one is thinking to remove them. They have never been removed except by us. And it's because of our own ability as people who can fight for their own. We are grateful to the SPLA because SPLA drew the war and was the strongest than Khartoum. And SPLA allowed us to vote for referendum, 99%. And we declare our country, and our flag is up. Let us not leave this flag to fall. It has to be in the air. Let us not leave it to fall. Because we achieve it with the really blood, with the stream of blood. So that is what I can say about this country. And more people are working.
All right. You have mentioned it. You have mentioned
the unity government is not doing even little, nothing.
There's something you mentioned that the government of national unity currently in Juba, they are not preparing to mobilize people for the peace. They are just for the election. They are mobilizing for the next war. Okay, if that is the case, are you really engaging with other communities to bring lasting peace and harmony in the country?
This is what we are starting. We have been quiet. We are starting this because what we have seen, there is no commitment on the side of opposition, commitment as a government. And then we see people even claiming that they will next time they will get rid of them, and the communities are now good. We have to approach them. Communities in Equatoria are very good. We relate to Western Equatoria and Eastern Equatoria much more quicker, and also the Nuer community are not that really looking for war. Because in our areas, in spite of fighting, the Nuers are present in Bargazal, in big numbers, in Twitch area, in Awil, in Gorial, and everywhere, including Lake. Nobody is aggressive to them. We feel that if we start, for example, with Bentiu, we can do something. We can do something with the Nuers. We must reconcile. We must work to reconcile. But our problem is that the government sees us as people working to replace them. This is what they do. And this is very particular with SPLM. They don't want actually to recognize anybody else except themselves. But themselves, they have no harmony. They don't commit themselves to one another. They don't support each other. But that is why, otherwise, if SPLM was working sufficiently well together with Salva Kiir, there will be no reason for us to come in. Because we in the Jieng Council are all members of SPLM.
Okay. Yeah, talking of shipment, talking about your achievement, we heard that you have been mediating a reconciliation between General Paul Malong and President Salva Kiir Mayardit. Is that true? And how far you have reached?
We are not actually doing negotiation between Malong and President Salva as we speak. We actually intervene when Malong actually wanted to, when he wanted to defect to Awil with anger and so on, and was stopped by people of Lake, thanks to them. We actually went in between him and the president, and we managed to get him out to Nairobi under the word treatment, medical treatment. When he reached Nairobi, he actually defected. He formed a party and joined with others, and he is now with others. So we are not going there. We are not in the middle of them. We left it. They are negotiating now, and Mariam Benjamin is going to them in Italy and so on. and we are not even sympathetic.
Okay. Lastly, what is the way forward now as Jieng Council of Elders to the issue of the South Sudan now? Because there is still chaos. They have signed peace agreement. You can see the members of the IO, they are defecting to the government, and the members of the government are defecting, joining IO. This movement, well, what do you see here will bring the lasting peace in the country?
This movement, joining Salva Kiir or joining Riek Machar, is what we have seen. We have seen that the both sides are not genuine. You sign peace, and you continue to destroy the peace. So those ones, we have already condemned them. They are not going to be useful either to Salva Kiir or Riek Machar, or will they be useful to the country in bringing peace? That I stop there. But the very good side of your question is what you say. What is the way forward?
Forward, yes.
The way forward is the best question at this time. We have started this, and we said that brought all the people to Juba is better than nothing at all. And it could actually be put on the forum for the leaders to be reconciled and reconciliation, healing, forgiveness, and so on. And when they accept forgiveness and get committed to this, we can actually be negotiating while we are implementing this peace. What is wrong with it? If there is a problem that is not acceptable to all or not acceptable to the country, the best way is to continue negotiating.
Yeah, the volume, the voice.
And we want this agreement to stay put, because this agreement, we will not be able to.
Your voice is dropping. Your volume. Yeah. Now. Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are you hearing now?
Yeah,
Yes.
very loud and clear
We
now.
can hear you now.
Yeah. I'm saying
Hmm.
the way forward now is actually to get committed to the better peace which have been done, because this bad peace is better than nothing at all. And if we are really committed and genuine leaders, we can implement it, and after reconciliation, healing, and forgiveness of among politicians, and in order for the public to forgive one another, and we go on while we are implementing this peace, we begin to negotiate on an issue that divides.
It's 23 hours.
We get an issue that divides, and we remove an issue that unites. We get it, and anything divides us, we put it away, and we can actually manage to go very quickly and hit at the democracy, freedom, and the rule of law, because you cannot manage Nuer or Denka by a dictatorship. This is better than nothing at all, and we are going to commit ourselves to supporting this peace, because we cannot actually say we shall be able to get another one and get people together. People are now together, and also people decided in the National Conference to get their country united under the constitution called Federal Constitution. We don't want to lose sight of this. We should actually stop those who are trying to destroy it again, identify them, and isolate them. They can be isolated, even those who have signed this agreement. If they are dangerous to peace, if they want to endanger peace, why not? The security should do that.
All right, that's good. And lastly, where are the other JCE members, those like Ambrose Ring and Bona Malwal, for example, and why the General Secretary, Ustaz Luis Ane, resigned? And is his position is in field, or nobody has taken his position?
His position is still vacant because he resigned and joined Malong and also resigned from there. And I think he may be resigning from other things.
Okay.
And other members,
Mm.
there are many members. But if you can see our signature, it is Lakes, Awil, Bogrial, and Padang, and representing ourselves, all the Denka.
All right. Okay. After
So the five of us are sufficient to sign. But it was debated wide by so many people.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Aldo Ajo. Just one more thing that I would like to bring up, Mr. Romas. We had the Romas after you released the statement of breaking silence. We had rumors that the military intelligence speak you up, you people, and is that correct? Did such a thing happen?
It is not correct because what we had a meeting with a Kolkor,
Mm.
the man of national security,
Mm.
and when we look in what he was telling us, he was quite reasonable because things he said are things we feel we should not go against them. And we told him that we are not against the government. We are changing the gear from war to peace. And that's what we want to do. So that we lobby for peace and we lobby others. But the intention was not an arrest. The military, the MI did not contact us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much. Bol Makur, if you have anything to add, the interview is end up here. The questions that I prepared to ask you are over. We appreciate your presence, accepting invitation to be part of this interview. Bol?
Thank you, Isaac. I may ask Dr. Aldo. Doctor, what do you think about the land grabbing that people had been talked about in South Sudan? Can you tell us what do you know about land grabbing?
The land grabbing, there is no land grabbing, in fact, intentionally. The fact is that people flock to Juba after agreement 2005. And the army of South Sudan, the SPLA, actually came to Juba in big numbers. They got an area empty near the airport and they occupied it almost temporarily. And the people of land are not organized to distribute the land in the way you people know we used to do. It is in other places, but it's not in Juba. People of Juba have decided to distribute land among themselves secretly, and our people are not being given even the army. The thing is that this one is a part of the campaign. The part of the campaign that Denka are grabbers of land. You know our tradition, even between brothers, we have never had a history of land grabbing at all. And even small tribes, we live together in Baradigal, we have never had an occasion that the Denka are land grabbers. These people here decided the word land grabbers in order to add it to the dangerous propaganda they are doing against the Denka. Why don't they say it among themselves? And to tell you, in Juba, people of Western Equatoria do not get lands also in Juba. People of East Equatoria don't get land in Juba. The land is actually by barrier. The barrier have gripped the land and they don't want to give it to anybody. And this is the capital of South Sudan. And what can people do? People who fought the war and the came and they replaced the big army in the place now called Tongping. There was a place of Northern Sudanese distributed all to Northern Sudanese. And the levy and the barrier want to own it. There is no land grab. It's a part of propaganda we are fighting against.
Thank you, Uncle, for answering that. Another question came from one of Lake State Media member. What do you think South Sudanese in the diaspora can do in terms of peace? What can we help? What can you advise us to do in terms of peace back home?
In fact, on this peace, my message is that for you people, South Sudanese, who are conscious of their country, to unite yourselves together. Because ourselves also propose that at this stage, we are ready to have a communal togetherness with South Sudanese. We are not going to stand alone. We would actually propose and contact others to see what is the opinion of others, especially after the national conference. And the best thing is for you to get yourself together in order to really put ideas and work for peace. This war has destroyed our country, and we don't need to continue with it because it is meaningless. It has no ideology. It has no program of governance. And what it has now, what it has shown now, are positions. There is no country that can fight for positions. You fight for a program in the interest of the country and the people.
Thank you.
So we need you together, and we will try our best to meld up with others in South Sudan. We are not going to do it alone because there is no space. Why? Why do we don't do alone? We did that alone because we were targeted then, and that is not anymore. We want to participate in this agreement and make it an agreement really that can be implemented, that can save the country.
Thank you, Uncle, for answering that question. And the credit goes to Adun Makura Thorbe. She was the one who asked that question. Another question coming to you. What do you, have you one day come together as Jieng Council as a panel and walk to the president and talk to him about the ongoing corruption in the country?
We are making very big efforts to see that President accepts to get us with him because we have been away from him since 2017. You see? And we never met him. because he was actually because of propaganda and because of some of people working with him, we lost the access to the president. But we are making efforts now to see him, and we will not leave any issue, corruption and the management of this country, and everything that we see to be put right, because we have what we have a way forward, which I have not told you here. A way forward, a quick one that can restore our country, can restore our people, and our people can come back with pride. We have that one, and we want to reach the president and tell him that, look, we go down together. We are not against you. We are not against anybody. We are actually on the table, this table, to see that the peace actually prevail rather than this situation of no war, no peace.
Thank you, Uncle. There is a clarification that I want you to make. When you talked about war broke out in 2013 and 2016, you mentioned that after the war, we had not been supported worldwide because people thought this is a Dinka government. While you were speaking, a lot of people left what you have said and they just took the word Dinka government, but that's not what you mean. You didn't mean the government belonged to Dinka. You mean that the world and other people in South Sudan claim is a Dinka government, people within the government that working in the government of South Sudan and they are non-Dinka, they don't talk about this so they can shut down other people that claim is a Dinka government. And you reference that, but people took it from your mouth and think that you said is a Dinka government. Can you elaborate so people cannot misconstrue you?
Now, why I said that we were targeted and called a Dinka government is that on our own. We volunteered by our own in 2014 and even beyond 2016. And we wanted to answer only individuals whom we know their communities, who are targeting the Denka in Equatoria and in Upper Nile. And that was our job. We are not a part of the government. And if you try to identify us, you will find that we have no person in the government before and now. We have no person in the government. We are people capable to advise, but we have not been participating. We are here volunteering, and the government is not the government of Denka. The government was elected in 2010. Salva Kiir and Young Machar were elected. And when they were elected, they formed a government of South Sudan, a government of SPLM, one president and another deputy, until they came up to 2013. And they departed from one another. The departure of Dr. Riak was not a surprise. It's something he has done several times. And the government of SPLM remained with the parliament of SPLM. SPLM had 93% in the parliament. And we were surprised for people to call it a Dinka. That is something that planned to destroy the Dinka community. And that's why we are not accepting it. We are not a part of the government. Our members are not participating in the government. They are not there. But we are political veterans. We cannot keep quiet. When we speak on our experience only, not against any community or what the government can do. We cannot force it to the government. We don't do that. So when the war is over now, we are off from the platform of war. We have joined peace, and I hope that all South Sudanese are joining the peace platform so that we work out together and unite the country. because we have that. If they want to go back to war, that
Thank
is a
you.
different thing. We are not a part of the government. Now, the government of SPLM is no more. It was dissolved on 22nd February 2020. It is not there. The government which is here now is the government of the then warring party. The government of then warring parties, and its identity is the unity government of South Sudan, transition unity government of South Sudan. They don't want to call that, they want to continue and call it Denka government. Is that sensible? Are these people really telling the truth? Or they are based only to destroy? That's where we answer.
Thank you, Uncle. People now understood clearly what you said before was not what you meant. Now they understood you did not say that the government belonged to Dinka, and that's what I was looking for.
I can't say that even before.
Thank you, Uncle. And that's why I make it clear, because I know you're too great to say that. Another thing I'm asking you, Uncle, now you had you had formed yourself as JCE, Jieng Council of Elders. Why don't you advise other communities also to form their elders, and then you guys join together? Is it good for only you, the young people, to have the only council? There's no council for Nuer, there's no council for Equatorian, there's no council for Chulu. Why don't you advise yourself so you guys can form different council and you guys come together?
Now what we have proposed is that we should have 3 councils. The one of Barghazal, the one of Upper Nile, and one of Equatoria. And we get representatives in order for us to meet together in Juba. This one can help a lot because it can help to carry all the people. And we cannot make it, we cannot go in the ticket of Jieng to something that put South Sudanese together. It will be odd. So our yearly division now, which we carry in the National Congress and Conference, is that we are divided by claiming I am Equatorian, I am from Barghazal, I am from Upper Nile, and there are divisions inside there, but we want to make this territorial and get our region, Barghazal, together, the region of Equatoria together, and region of Upper Nile, because our constitution we don't want to carry our constitution to mention anything, community or ethnicity. Our constitution should actually be territorial and regional and states without all these communities. We are avoiding that. So we are going to get ourselves together and we will not be actually working as JCE any longer.
Okay.
That is what we are going to do.
Thank you. I will give floor to Isaac if you have another thing to add, and we'll come back to me, and from there we will close the show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Bod Makur. We have exhausted some of the questions, and there are more questions written. Those who are coming up, but wouldn't be answered now currently. My question is regarding the people who are still in the poach in UNAMIS. If this is genuine fees that people are together like Riyadh is in Cuba, why the people are still in UNAMIS and they are not outside? Why they didn't come out? Did anyone talk about it before?
That is a very, very good question. That is the what we say, the failure of the unity government. Because the government is designated to bring people back and then relieve people from internal displays, and get refugees back, and provide freedom for people to mix up and move, and
Yes.
remove guns and everything. That is always the first thing in an agreement, to ease all the people so that they come back peacefully. But it seems that people are suspicious of one another. We have said before, people are defecting from Riyadh, are defecting from Salva Kiir, and this is a real problem, because there is no peace that can be implemented when the people have themselves have not been eased up in order to move together and and get to their duties. This is the problem, and this problem goes back to the salary. Service if you if a member of parliament has got 30, 30 US, what about a soldier? Soldier. Now, uh, this is really the bottleneck of this agreement. Very bad one. They are not doing it even
Ab-
inside here.
Absolutely.
And I told you before, people are, instead of coming to the country, they are defecting. They are going back.
To war. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have
And,
exhausted.
and, I, and, I, and I want to add,
Yeah.
simply because the leaders who are in the government are not committed to what they have signed. And that is a big problem. They are not committed to it. They are dealing with program of becoming president or becoming what in the country where there are a lot of chaos. They have not accepted the peace.
All right. Okay. Abraham, all, if you have anything to add in, you can add in, and then we will give a floor for the last remarks to be given by Dr. Aldo. Then we close the show.
Thank
What I
you,
want,
Isaac.
what I want to add is this, and I add it for the sake of what I want to add
Hmm.
is the resilience of our own people. Our own people fought for 50 years, 1955 to 2005, with non-stop until they liberated themselves. That is a big thing to give to South Sudanese, because they fought the war united. Another thing is that when they came to vote for self-determination, they voted 99%, which is 100%, together to get their country. This is period we must think about our history and really try our best to restore it. The restoration of this is to forgive one another what we have done recently, the war we have done to ourselves, 2013. Reconcile in good faith and forgive ourselves in good faith, so that we actually get our track, the track that carry us for 50 years to fight, so that we restore the respect of our country and to the world and to ourselves. This one is the spirit that came in the national dialogue. The national dialogue appealed to our people, and people who were in the national dialogue were selected, very intellectual, experience, and all that, and was attended by all the parties except IO. All the parties except this one, except IO. And it was closed by President Salva. Madame Rebecca spoke very well. Spoke very well and embraced the unity of people. Now, this is what we have to revisit our history, and then persuade ourselves that we have done something we have done wrong. We forgive one another and correct it. And this is my message that really to South Sudanese, unless we are united, we cannot actually save this country. It is our unity that will glue this country to live together.
Thank you, Uncle. I just had the economic question because you had been a professor for a very long time, and you know very well about economics. So this is the economic question. South Sudan has had a currency problem ever since it's gained independence. The pound value. What can you tell us today about this?
Well, I am not really invest in economics, but my experience can just tell me what to say. In our country, this has not been given intention. We came to Khartoum, and we had 6 years with Khartoum, and we adopted the way, the corruption way of Khartoum by finishing money, by taking money as it is. The money of a project, the project can actually die on purpose. And then our economy has not actually focused on the livelihood of people, the agriculture. If we were to focus on agriculture by getting some money from the oil and put it on agriculture, we will be different now, because as we speak now, we produce nothing, and we are not supporting the pound. Pound has no support. We have no agriculture, we produce nothing, we export nothing except the oil, and because of that, our currency has no backing, and because it has no backing, it is collapsing. There are no industries. There is nothing, even light industry. We are in a very, very bad shape. How to rescue it? The economists, Southern Sudan economists are very strong, but they are not being given the chance to really try to treat this economy. Some people think that they know it, because everybody that does not read or whatever it is can say, I know it. And some of you might have come across, I know at random. This is what people say. Myself, I have not been a teacher, I have not been a professor, and I actually left Rumbek Secondary School second year, by the way, to Parliament. And I just determined myself to continue to read and get myself informed. And because of that, what I have properly, something I control, is the international law. I study law and international law. I'm very much versed in international law, and this is what I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle. Let me just ask you, this is a very simple question, and I have reason why I'm asking you this question.
Yes.
Thank you, Uncle. How do you feel about this platform, Lake State Media?
About?
How do you feel about this platform that we have created, we and other platforms, the social media platforms? How do you feel about it?
This is the best one for people to be informed. And I want you to add even radio, because our people out there cannot be accessed to television. This is a big effort which will be upheld. You must be thankful for this, because now we are speaking, What do you think if it was not here? We could not do it. And it has not been done even by our government to make it for everybody internally and outside. It is a great achievement. And you put it correctly, not something personal like Jonkor. It is not like Jonkor. It is actually in the name of Lake State. Lake State is a very powerful state, the Dental State. Very powerful. And I like that name. I thank you for that. And I will continue to support this one. Support it. One day it will actually be an international television. It's not simple.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle. The reason why I asked you this.
Yeah, and if you get a support, can it not be CNN? CNN was done by people. What's wrong with it? See?
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle. It's just like a CNN and just like a New York Times magazine.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you that question is I and this gentleman on the screen, Isaac Paul, and other gentlemen, Abraham Adin Majak, Agar, and Peter Kenny, we had tried our best to reach out to all part of South Sudan so people can, so the leaders can come to social media and express to the people, inform people. But people had been kept quiet and had been running away from social media. And people thought coming to social media, probably you might say something wrong, and people couldn't come to inform people. And that's why I asked you, how do you feel about this platform? We want the governors. We want the governors. We want even himself, the President Kiir, to come to social media and express to the people of South Sudan.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
You know, Bol, some people, when I joined the Facebook, I created the page. One of my friends, Jacob Okol, who is now with the social media, asked me, "Why are you actually involved in social media? What do you want?" I said, "I want people. I want to connect to people because I have things in my mind, and people out there will read them. The most intellectuals are in the social media. The whole thing is a shy away from the fact that people are afraid of their government, and they want to leave, and this is one of the things. And unfortunately, the big people don't read it. They don't listen even to radio, and that is a real thing for us, which is not good. So one day they are going to do this. They will not avoid it because the technology is not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And one day it will kill radio and everything, and people will listen in their own mobiles live like this. They don't know the advance the technology is going. And this will, one day they will actually associate with the social media. Social media is the life of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. I will yield the floor to my comrades, Isaac, Paul, to continue until the show closes. I start from here. I'm Bol Makur of Lake State Media. Thank you.
Thank you, Bol. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bol, and thank you, Dr. Aldo Ajo, and all our viewers. The interview will end here. We don't have much to say now, but we ask you to come back many times to connect with the people. Just feed the public in the social media. Anytime you feel to give information out, please come and join us here and tell the public what you have. So at the last minute, I will give you 1 minute to give us a remarks or conclusion, and then we will end up from there.
My conclusion, I have already talked to generally about South Sudanese and the unity. But for now, I want to thank you very much and actually uphold your media to be doing the best you can. And this is patriotism. I encourage you to enlarge it, and you will see that if I don't come physically, I will send anything in my Facebook in writing, and I will contact Adut so that if there is anything best, you can actually put it on light for everybody to hear the best one that is good for South Sudan. I can dispatch it to you. And I was happy to have this media because I saw it. I am always on social media, by the way, and I like that one. I thank you very much and encourage you to increase your effort. Don't stop at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elder Dr. Aldo Ajo, and thank you, Bulmakur. Thank you, our viewers, all hundreds of people watching around the world. God bless you. Have a good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. We will catch up again with more news to come after this.
It's your boy Young Jieng that time. Control legislate the Panchir America. Banyi doang ban control legislate the Panchir America. Banyi doang ban wo kojile kankaro watana watching. Oga level gear pa ogara leg. Panda wadiya Panchir America. Banyi doang ban no chingitongo pandon kujura baya cheka. Pagu panda juru wadiya bi. Panchir America, Banji Dwal, Banaban.